Alright, and now onto one of the main components here. This is going to be my Gskill Triton Royal Z. This is DDR 3600. This is a 32 gigabyte kit here. This one is a special edition. Looks like there's a little bit of discoloration probably from where, yeah, it's from where that sits. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what that was. So, what this does is, this is a multiple component unit. First off, yeah, this is the special edition display box for this memory. What this is, it's a really nice box here, as you can see. Drawer down here with a micro USB cable, looks like a cleaning cloth, and a case badge. And what this does is it allows you to take, and if you're not using your memory or you just want to show it off or trying to sell it, it allows you to actually take the memory sticks and plug them in to the memory slots here. And then yeah, on the back there's a USB port. You plug that into any type of USB dongle, whether it's a USB port on the computer, USB dongle from a cell phone, and it'll actually power that memory up. That way you can check it to make sure the LEDs on it are actually working correctly. Also gives you a chance you can just kind of show it off. You can see what it looks like. Am I ever going to use that? Probably not. I'll keep it around though, just because it is something that's limited edition. It's not a bad thing to use to store leftover memory in for future purpose. That way you can make sure that it doesn't get damaged at all. And then here, this should be the main memory itself. Yeah. And another cleaning cloth, and another case badge. Cool. Alright, so this is the Triton Royal Z. This memory, this is 4 8GB sticks. There's 32 gigabytes total. As you can see, it is a silver mirror finish on here. Absolutely gorgeous memory. We'll stick out here. I'm really hesitant to touch it. I just don't want to get fingerprints on it. Oh, it does have, looks like it's got a clear plastic cover on it. So you can actually see it right there. Right there where that crease is. If you actually look at it close enough, you can see that there's a film on top of this. You can probably see, yeah, right there. You can kind of see that film making an edge. I can hear it here too. You can see it on those little fins too. It's got a film on here to protect it, so okay. So I'm not too worried about it as much about getting fingerprints on it then. But it does have these really cool crystals on the top here for the LEDs. What these do is it lights up the LEDs underneath these crystals, and it gives it a really cool glowing effect. It is RGB, so it's programmable as well. It does sync with Asus Aura, or you can download the Triton software for it. This is, again, like I said, it is DDR 3600, DDR4. It's a cast latency of 17. The main memory module speeds on it are going to be the 17, 18, 1838 at 1.35 volts, it looks like. It is XMP 2.0 ready. What's really nice about that is when you pop this in your main board, you go to the BIOS, you can select that XMP memory, and it should set your timings automatically for you, which is really nice. Now, that's not saying that you can't tweak this some. That's one thing I'm going to try to do with this memory. I'm not going to go for an overclock. DDR 3600 is kind of the sweet spot with this processor that I did get. However, I'm going to try to lower those timings a little bit. Like to try to push for a cast latency of a 15, maybe even a 14, if possible. Can't always adjust that very well. If I can get even down to 16, I'd be happy. But just try to tighten the timings a little bit. A lot of times these things aren't exactly 100% optimized, so you can squeeze a little bit more out of them, but with being 4 separate memory sticks, it gets a little bit harder because if you have one that doesn't like the timings, then none of them will apply it. So that's the one downside of having 4 separate sticks of memory. They're a little bit harder to overclock, in my opinion. I do like the looks of them, though. I mean, it's a really well-built kit. The memory itself is really solid. The heat sinks are really thick, so that should help with any type of heat. I don't believe that the DDR4 has too many heat issues, though. My DDR3 that I had was always cool to the touch, so I never had any issues. I know back in the old days with my old SD RAM, it would get warm to the touch, especially under heavy use, but it was never like burning hot. At one point I did try some water-cooled memory, which was probably the biggest waste of money I ever had. I thought that would help out a lot, but it literally did nothing for me. I mean, I might have got an extra 50 megahertz out of the memory, but it was so negligible it really didn't affect anything. But these are some of the top-rated memory on the available right now. They did just hit a new world record with the Gskill Triton Royal Z, so I'm really happy with that. I mean, in the future, it may be something that I attempt to overclock, but right now, it's not really high on my list. My main thing is I just want to get this new system up and running and just try out just how much of a massive upgrade this is going to be for me. Okay, so picking back up where I was at, I went ahead and I grabbed my laptop really quick here. Plugged in there. The one thing I don't care for that too much is it's really recessed in there. Which it really doesn't need to be. It might just be because of the way they have the circuit board and stuff in there, but that's kind of, to me, it's, I don't know, kind of a little silly, but get these sticks. And of course, rubber slots are going to be backwards. Does that make sense, right? There's number 1. Trying to avoid touching the chrome if I can with my fingers, so I'm trying to keep my fingers on the crystal. There's number 2. There's 3. And 4. I don't see any power switch or anything, so maybe I just need to power the laptop up. Okay, I saw a flash there. There we go. That looks all nice and pretty and shiny now. I believe it's supposed to be 10 LEDs inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, looks like a count of 10. It has a really nice lighting effect to it. As you can see right now, it's just in a wave pattern, cycling through the different colors that are available. This is kind of the default for the lighting on it. The nice thing about this memory is it does not require an external power source. It's powered by the main board. Some of them, with the lighting effect, actually have an extra USB attachment to them, which to me is kind of crappy. But this is the new lighting. Once I get the rest of the components in, I will be documenting that as well.